guys. I'm super excited that I'm hopefully figured this out and can teach via the internet. So we'll see how it works. I've got 15 minutes per video, but that's probably all that you'll want to take to listen to me each day anyway. But I just hated to keep putting the presentations on there without any kind of narrative or any of my commentary to help you understand. So anyway, we are going to give this a try and see how it works out. And all of these presentations are going to be posted also so that you can follow along with the notes. And then the videos I'm going to post separately because I don't want to take up all the time in these videos watching the videos that are in the presentation. So I will post those and then have a question with those so that you can do those, and you'll get, like 20 points per video or something like that. So anyway, I hope you guys are doing okay. I miss all of you. I'm so sad that we're not going to get to finish this year together, especially for you seniors. I know this has been crazy, and I hope that you're staying well and washing your hands a lot and trying to enjoy spending some time at home. We absolutely cannot say that we're too busy. We aren't too busy. All of our sports are gone. All of our everything is gone for the moment. We're not even supposed to be getting together. So hang in there, and we'll get through this one way or the other. But I just do want to continue and us finish out this year strong with all that we need to learn and all that you need to be prepared to go to the next level next year. I will say that this particular unit that we're going to study, some of you are going to love. This is probably one of my favorite things to study because I've always been very interested in psychology and sociology and why people act the way that they act. It's also, even if you don't love it though, you will use this information every single day of your career, okay? If we were in school, we would do some skits at the end with it. May try to figure out how we can do that. I'm not sure really because we can't really do any partner work, but we shall see what transpires. So anyway, so I'm gonna put it in the present mode, and then we'll click through the videos just to go ahead and get through those. So I'll post these with a question so that you can watch these. Now this one is about 20 minutes long. I'm going to have to send this one through Remind. I'm planning on sending it out next Monday, and then there'll be some questions that go along with it. Any of the videos, if you can't see them on Google Classroom, if one of you will just message me and let me know, then I'll send it to you through Remind. All right, so this is the beginning part of the notes and that first part is about fetal growth and development. So if you have any interest in doing anything in labor and delivery or in obstetrics or gynecology, or where you're working with women and families as far as with childbearing, it's definitely something that you're going to want to understand about fetal growth and development. So the videos go into a little bit of that, but then we're going to start actually with birth, okay? And 90% of the brain development does occur in the first 5 years. Now, that doesn't mean that the brain is completely formed, because we did learn when we were studying the nervous system that you don't have a fully formed brain until you're 25. But 90% of that brain does begin in the first 5 years of life. So that means by age 4, the average child in a poor family has a vocabulary of 400 words. And a working class family has a vocabulary of 700 words, and in a college-educated family has a vocabulary of 1,200 words. Now, before you say, what? Why are we learning this? Why, that sounds very stereotypical. And maybe that is a little bit of stereotyping, However, this is what the research shows. So why do I tell you this? Because it is very important in that first 5 years for children to be exposed to as many words as possible, to be talked to be read to, all of those things. A lot of times people that are college educated know those things. They've learned that somewhere along the way in college Whereas people that have just graduated from high school, or maybe they didn't even graduate from high school, they just don't have the skills to know that with their children. So that doesn't mean that they're not good parents. It doesn't mean that they're not doing the best they can for their children or anything like that. This just shows you, that the playing field is not level. So when you're working with all different types of children, and for the most part, like when I worked at Children's Hospital, 70% of our clientele or patients were Medicaid. And so that means that they were, most of them were somewhere in the poverty level. So there's a difference in working with children that are that age, that come from poor families, to working with children that comes from college-educated families. So just knowing that will help you hopefully relate to people and children better. All right, so by age 4, a child in poverty has heard 30 million fewer words than his peers with college-educated parents. Wow. And because vocabulary is basic to academic success and IQ, many children are left behind long before walking to a public school. All right, this is a great video that I'm going to have you watch on your own time. You can watch it in the presentation. It just gives you a lot of, will hopefully help you understand the differences in children and why there can be some differences in development. Okay, and we're going to look at the life stages. So life stages, growth spans an individual's lifetime. So we are growing from birth to death. Development is the process of becoming fully grown. However, just because you are fully physically grown doesn't mean that you're fully mentally or emotionally or psychologically or spiritually or all the other things that makes us human. It doesn't mean we're never going to reach the epitome of those things, and we'll talk a little bit about that later. But now is a great time, while we're all stuck at home, to spend some time just reflecting on ourselves and figuring out, where do I need to grow? Where do I need to grow personally? Where do I need to grow professionally? Or how do I need to grow as a person so that I can be in the profession that I want to be in one day? Healthcare workers need to be aware of the various stages and needs of the individual to provide that quality care. And as we go along through this, I hope you're going to see how that is really important to understanding these life stages. If you take the CNA course, Ms. Coram will go over this again next year. So having this foundation will help you next year. All right, I'm going to see how much time I have. Okay, I've got about 7 minutes. Set a 6-minute timer.
Your timer is set for 6 minutes.
This is my first time to do this, so just hang with me. I'm going to get better. All right, so growth and development. So this begins with birth and ends with death. And the videos kind of show us that it actually begins before birth as far as growth and learning and all those things. But it does end with death. And I do appreciate you guys, all of you that sent me messages, just letting me know that you were praying for our family when we lost my mom. It's difficult to talk about. I will, at some point, hopefully this semester, if we get to it, we're going to cover death and dying. I never do well with that anyway. I always cry, but when I'm presenting that anyway, so maybe doing it this way will help a little bit. But, death is the end of this life. It is the end of our growth and development here on this planet. And depending on what your personal beliefs are, then depends on how you see death. But for me, I do have a lot of peace. And I do thank you for your love and your prayers. All right, so the life stages. Every person passes through certain stages of growth and development. You have passed through several of them, as you will see, and hopefully this will help you understand maybe why you acted or thought the way that you thought when you were younger. And maybe you'll understand your parents or guardians or caregivers and grandparents a little bit more. I think you will as we get through this. You'll be able to see people. You'll be able to recognize why people behave the way they behave through these. There are a lot of theories about growth and development. GND means growth and development. The three main theorists they were sociologists, psychologists, psychiatrists, are Piaget, Erikson, and Freud. Piaget, you have probably heard of. He's it's left me right this second what his theory was called. Erikson, you may not have heard of, but you will hear a lot about it in healthcare, and that's the one we're going to focus on for our growth and development purposes. And then Sigmund Freud is considered the father of psychiatry. So you may have learned about him, and if you haven't, you will. You'll hear all these names when you take psychology in college, which most people have to have intro to psychology. All right, so Erikson's stages of psychosocial development. So Erik Erikson was a psychoanalyst, and basically what his theory, or the theory that he came up with, is that there's a basic conflict or need that has to be met in every stage. So as we grow, every stage that we come to has a basic conflict or a need. And depending on how we respond, if we successfully complete this conflict, or if we overcome this conflict, then we move to the next stage. Otherwise, he would actually say that we get stuck in that particular stage. Now, obviously, you can't see the table in 8.1, like we can't use our book, but there is a great slide player right here that is going to take you to another website. So I want you to review this here it comes. Okay, so this is Erik Erikson. This is a little bit more about him, and I just didn't reinvent the wheel here. So the next one, it talks about infancy, age 0 to 1, and our crisis here is trust versus mistrust. And I have a feeling that my video is going to end up having to stop. So before I go too far, I'm going to go ahead and pause this one and then pick back up with Erik Erikson.